Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This one's going to be for the movie Chef, which stars Jon Favreau, Sofia Vergara, John Leguizamo, Bobby Cannavale, Emma J. Anthony, Robert Downey Jr., Dustin Hoffman, Oliver Platt, and Amy Sedaris. So yeah. Before I begin on the actual review though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and then come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. So yeah, 10 seconds are up. So for those that have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. Then I give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, basically, Chef, what did I think of it? As usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So basically, Chef is the semi-autobiographical film, written, directed, and starring Jon Favreau. And basically, in the film, his character Carl Casper, he gets in a fight with his food critic who criticizes his food. And Carl Casper, Jon Favreau, whatever, he is this big time chef. So after having had this confrontation with this food critic, he decides to go back to his roots, which is down in Miami, and he basically gets a food truck. Him, one of his co-workers, and his son work on the food truck throughout the whole summer, and they basically do a food truck tour from Miami to New Orleans to Austin to Los Angeles. So yeah, I mean overall it's actually a pretty good movie, especially due to the fact that it is semi-autobiographical, with Jon Favreau wanting to go back to his roots and indie stuff, and this kind of is like an indie film. So yeah, this is a comedy drama, and the comedy does shine throughout the whole movie, especially when the people are talking Spanish. I think that's some of the funniest things. When people talk Spanish, it's funny, especially when you understand Spanish. En especial cuando tú entiendes español, es más chistoso. It's more funny when you understand it in Spanish. So yeah, there's many scenes in Spanish, especially when they're down in Miami. There's many scenes where when his coworker who knows Spanish, he's talking Spanish to everybody, and it's just funny. He's threatening people about immigration and stuff, which down there in Miami, illegal immigrants from like Cuba, Guatemala, or Nicaragua or whatever. They are a major problem from what I've heard of, and it's kind of funny that they reference that from Miami. So yeah. They also go to not France, New Orleans, which they try beignets, and yeah, they go down to Austin and they try some beef or special type of beef. So yeah, the menu in the food truck is very Miami inspired, with stuff like medianoche, Cuban sandwiches, what else is there? Yuca, plátanos, many typical Hispanic foods, mostly Cubans, because Miami Cubans. So yeah, but for the most part, it is Latin inspired. So I guess it's kind of good, because I understand more of the Latin references. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be that came out wrong. But I mean, I think if you're Hispanic in some aspect, you are gonna understand the Latin references a bit more, especially when it comes to food. Like because they do have yucas, plátanos, medianoches, Cuban stuff, Cuban bread and whatnot, Cuban sandwiches. So yeah, I mean, also when they go to New Orleans, they kind of update their menu with beignets. And when they go to Austin, they switched medianoches with a midnight Austin, or Austin midnight, which they just switched the meat. So yeah, I mean overall it's pretty good. One of the biggest things I think is one of the biggest things of this film, which I do like, is the soundtrack and the score for the film. Hopefully it does get nominated for best soundtrack or best score, because I think it has one of the best scores in the film. But I think it would have to compete with Guardians of the Galaxy. I have to admit, if it gets nominated for best score or best soundtrack, it'll probably compete with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not even kidding, and maybe even Under the Skin. I'm pretty sure it'll compete with those two films. And yeah, but this does have some of the best soundtrack in my opinion that I've heard since Guardians of the Galaxy and Under the Skin. Um, so yeah, I mean, mostly due to the fact that it is very Cuban inspired or Hispanic inspired, is because it's like it has this really Latin vibe to it, Latin free Cuban vibe to it. So it is very fun, and the type of music they chose is music you could dance to. You could dance salsa, merengue, cha-cha to it, and actually found myself wanting to dance salsa, merengue, or cha-cha to it. And I guess that's also due to the fact that I do know salsa, merengue, and cha-cha. So yeah, the music does make you want to dance. It is very happy. It is very free, and it is music you could dance to. And the music, the soundtrack is a huge thing throughout the film, because the first half of the film is Casper, Jon Favreau, whatever. The first half of the film is him being so restrained. So in the music, if any, in the first half, there's a little bit of music in the first half, which is the first hour of the film, and it was just like this really low, slow ballet music, ballet music, whatever. And then the second half of the film, which is the second hour, was just this really fun, free, Latin inspired Cuban music or Hispanic music or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted them to do something, just maybe put a little bit of Celia Cruz or Pitbull, especially since they're down in Miami. Go with Pitbull or something like that. Maybe even go Marc Anthony or Enrique Iglesias or something like that. Maybe a bit more, but I'm okay with the music they put. It was great overall. Yeah, but I kind of wish if they had a shot of whole Miami, a few shots of Miami, because I think they did. Because I know they had for New Orleans, but I don't remember them having one for Miami, right? I kind of wish they would have done something like with Pitbull music, which is very typical when they show Miami in films, where they have Pitbull music going uno, dos, tres, cuatro, 1, 2, 3, 4, dale. That would have been funny, incredible, and I would have loved it. So yeah. Now aside from the soundtrack, which I do love, and the comedy, the writing, aside from the comedy, because it does have to have its dramatic aspects in the film, and the writing for the dramatic aspects are done very incredible, and I think that also goes hand in hand with the acting. The acting, especially from Jon Favreau, is very well done. Sofia Vergara, I haven't really seen much of her aside from Modern Family. So, and this just shows how good of an actress she is, because in Modern Family, it's not a sitcom. It's kind of a sitcom show, right? It's just a sitcom show, but here it just shows how good of an actress she is. That she does have her dramatic aspects and her comedic sides. And I guess she kind of practiced that with Modern Families. I haven't really watched much of that show either, much. So yeah, but here's Sofia Vergara. She did a pretty great job. I mean, overall, everybody did a pretty good job. And yeah, my only complaint is Robert Downey Jr. He did a great job in his role, but I really found he really didn't have much of a purpose, in my opinion. He was just kind of there. He was only there for the one scene. I mean, he had a purpose of just giving Jon Favreau the truck, but that's really it. I do think they could have maybe developed his character a bit more. Also considering the fact that he was Sofia Vergara's first husband, because then she married Casper, and Casper's the second husband. And yeah, also the relationship between the kid and Jon Favreau, the father-son relationship, is very well done. And one thing I do like from Jon Favreau in the movie is that he admits that he hasn't been the best father, he hasn't been the best husband, but the one thing he's passionate about is his son and his love for cooking. So if he could combine that both, it just be all that much greater. And it's kind of fun, just good and fun to see, him trying to mix both his loves into one. So yeah, I mean, yeah, overall it was a great film. Very little flaws with it, if any. Just maybe Robert Downey Jr. being there for nothing. But even after that, I could look over that. I could honestly look over that. Yeah, hopefully this gets nominated for something in the Oscars. It gets noticed. Hopefully for best soundtrack or best score in a movie or something like that. Something having to do with sound or music or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get beat out by Guardians of the Galaxy. I could almost guarantee you it's gonna get beat out by Guardians of the Galaxy. As long as it's nominated, I'll be happy. So yeah, that's on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. I mean, this was just a great film. I love talking about it. I do recommend you guys checking it out. Also, and before I forget, one thing that was just evident throughout this whole movie, it's just a food porn. It's food porn. So yeah, and I do love me some food, especially Cuban food. That's always good. Um, yeah, medianoches, arroz con pollo. No, yeah, rice and chicken, which is arroz con pollo. Yuca, plátanos. What else is there? That other Latin food. I do love. Chicharron. Yeah, beignets. I've had one or two in the past, so those are good too. So yeah, I mean overall the food just looked incredible. And I wanted to eat like a motherfucker after I watched this film. And it was like 2 in the mornings when I finished it. So yeah, um, overall a great film. On a score of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being 6 being decent, I have to give this a 10 out of 10. It's a great film. It's an incredible film. Definitely do check it out. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. So definitely do stay tuned for that. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on the film. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Like the videos on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.